Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gluing up a Paradigm Dalek. This is a Dalek that I drew up in Fusion 360. The files will be available on Thingiverse, and I'll put a link down in the description for that. So I've tried to separate it as much as I can, so then you could just print the files out to the colour that you want, and then no painting or anything, and glue them together. So the neck rings I've keyed in, so you can lock them in place okay, so they'll clip in, so there's no alignment problems. And the dome I've made rotationable, so there's not a lot of files. So we've got the vent for the back of the skirt and the shoulders. So once again I've printed the shoulders so it's a bit easier to I've made the shoulders so they're a bit easier to print. I'm just getting ready to put some gloss paint on that before I glue this on. I've got a, I don't know if you can see, I've got a strip down the bottom here that's going to hold the gun and plunger balls in place. So I've got two sets of gun, plunger and eye files. Depends how you want to build them. So I've got some that go on 3mm aluminium rod, and another set that you can just print out, and so they just slide on the ball. So the idea of the construction of the shoulders is that you take the ball off, you put it into the socket there, you put the plate on the back, and then you can take the guns and the plungers in and out if they happen to break or whatever, and you can replace them. So we'll go on to the glue up. I'm going to glue the skirt to the fender and put the hemis on there, and then I'm going to give this a coat of clear varnish just to make it a little bit more shiny, because the filament didn't come out super shiny like the Paradigms are. So for glue up I'm going to be using acetone and a little bit of a slurry there with the filament in there, because this is printed in ABS. So if you print it in PLA or PETG, the glue is whatever you normally use. I'm also using the face mask, so I'll be a little bit muffled while we're gluing this up. So let's get on to work. Okay, while that's those hemis are setting up on that side, I'm going to glue the neck rings together. So the first neck ring lines with the groove. That's because this one goes on there. I can't do that yet because it's there. So neck ring 2 lines up with neck ring 1. Nice satisfying click. Neck ring 3, lines up to neck ring 2. The top neck ring 4. Lines up. So this is key, so when you put the head on backwards, then you turn it around and the head of the dome will be pointing forwards. That's the neck ring glued up. So I'm going to spray this with a clear varnish as well. So I'll leave that before I glue it onto the shoulders. I want to spray the shoulders clear, then put the gun and the plunger ball into the shoulders. So hopefully it's all glued up. Alright, that's all the hemis on. We've just got to put the vent on now. I know, I was just trying to line up, there's a seam on the hemis there from the printing. I was just trying to line the seam up. It's a bit hard to see. If I mark it a bit, there's a seam like that, so we're just trying to line them up so they're all pointed down onto the vent. So the vent just fits in there like that. There's a little bit of a gap all the way around, so you just got to guess that. The seam's got a, the vent has a pattern on the front and flat on the back. Okay. So we'll glue the shoulders on later on, but you see the shoulders fit in there, keyed as well. So we'll glue the fender on. The fender is keyed. So we'll just run some the force down there to hold it together. So that's it for now. I'll give these pieces a coat of clear varnish, and we'll come back and we'll glue the shoulder and the neck ring to the shoulder. I've given everything a couple coats of this acrylic varnish. This is gloss, so it's a little bit more shiny than what it was before. So now I'm going to put the balls into the shoulder, the plunger and the gun. It's a bit hard to see, but the front has got a ridge on it, where the back is just spherical. As I said, there's a retainer that holds them in place. I've got a small screw that's a 2 gauge, about 8mm screw. So it's going to be a little bit fiddly, so I might have to speed this up. So for the aluminium pieces, these are front and back pieces, and this pit on the gun is printed separately. Same with the plunger. For the 3D printed stuff, this is an older version that I printed out. So these you print in 2 halves, then glue them together. So the current version doesn't have the ball attached to it. That's so you can feed it in and set it in place. You can glue that in place, or you can just leave it as a press fit. If the gun breaks or plunger breaks, well then it'd be easier not to have them glued in place, so you can just replace them. Okay, so I'll just put the balls in there, and then we'll drop. Might even put a little bit of glue on that just to hold it in place in case the screw wants to give way. Once everything's glued up, it's going to be a bit more difficult to get to. Okay. So the design doesn't have a lot of room for the concaveness for the ball, so they only just sit in there. They're not like the other Daleks, but we're in. Okay, so I might just more glue on that. Don't really want that to come off once we've stuck it all in. Okay, so we'll glue the top part of the shoulders into place, so there's a groove in there and that notch is in there, and that completes the shoulders. I've printed it separately so it'd be less cleanup. So I'll just put a bit of acetone on there. Oh, wrong way around. Just a note, so this is the eye, and that's a 3D printed eye. So I've once again done it without the ball or the aluminium one. These fins on the eye are quite small, so I've had to make the line width at 0.2 millimeters, even though I'm printing with a 0.4 nozzle. If that was a 0.4 nozzle, this top one wouldn't print. So I'll put some notes in the printing guide for that. And these were the same. The gun bits were the same. Now the gun should have a wire that goes across through there, but I've decided not to put that in there. But I guess if you wanted to do that, there's no reason why you couldn't do that yourself. Okay, so then we can stick the shoulders on. I forgot to put my gloves on. Shoulders in, that all keys in. Some force on that for a little bit. So just a little bit about the eye. So that's the eye is printed in 2 parts and then glued together. These discs, there's 2 sorts of discs. There's when you're doing the aluminium version, there's a disc without a flange on it, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 with flanges to give them that separation. And then I'll just glue the eye on there. Okay, so that looks okay. The shoulders, so I've got a recess on there that lines up with that recess. There's a subtle difference here, I don't know if you can pick that up. This is printed with silver and this is printed with grey. And the hemis were grey as well, because it looked like from some of the screenshots that these were a slightly different colour than the shoulders. So again, this is where the guns balls need to be right, because we won't be able to access this plate down there anymore. So maybe just to be sure, I'll just put a little bit more on there. So these are just pushed into place, so if anything should happen I can replace them. So put these on. Once again, push that down. That's all the gluing that I need to do. Oh. Needs gluing with the acetone. So what we've got now is the eye. We'll glue this in later on. There's a bit at the back just to stop the eye stalk from pushing all the way through. The eye hemi, or the ball, sticks out further, so that's not pushed in from the back, but instead it's pushed in from the front. There's a little bit of a click there, and now hopefully if your printer's set up right, that'll okay. Might have to spin that around, get a little pair of pliers. Yeah, so make sure this flat bit, which just broke off, so it doesn't matter, it's at the bottom, so then the eye gets to point downwards. Oh, so there's one other thing, I'll just get there. Okay, so the ears, or whatever you want to call them, the headlights. So these, I've just printed these in PETG clear, or transparent, but they're not very transparent. So I'll put these in with hot glue, but just for now. So I'll just slide in there. I'll just put a dab of hot glue on either end there. And that's the eyes, ears, the lights. So that's the glue up complete. So I'll just go put the lights in, and I'll put it on the turntable and we'll do a final viewing. Okay, so now inside the workshop, instead of being outside gluing up. So just for completeness, we'll hot glue the lights in. So just pulling them down. And, put a couple of dots of hot glue on there. Focus, there you go. Let that cool off. Unlike the NSD, there's no cage or anything around these lights. Another couple of drops of hot glue. Don't need too much. I will put a dab of super glue on there, I think, later on. But for now,